we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Welcome back, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, 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 welcome back.
I'm usually not a fan of liturgical surprises. That was very kind. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be back. That's just perfect. For those of you who don't know me and are wondering what's happening, I'm Luke Stevens-Royer. I'm the minister at this church, and I've been gone on a lovely sabbatical study leave and renewing leave for the last several months, last 3.5 months, and I'm grateful to be back. I want to say first gratitude to all the leaders who held this space well during this time. Reverend Ruth, our sabbatical minister, our board, the staff, and many others who held important, meaningful, sometimes hard or challenging or confusing conversations to find our way together. So grateful to all of you and grateful to be here. So from that, welcome to this. Welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Rochester. We are a church of open minds and loving hearts, celebrating many sources of wisdom and many spiritual paths. Your faith, your doubts, your questions, your hopes, your identities are welcome here. Welcome to visitors, newcomers, those online as well. We're glad you're here. There's a preschool playroom open for young ones just past the lobby throughout the morning, groups for kids following the time for all ages. And after service, you can join us down in the Commons for refreshments and fellowship. And news alert, the refreshments have been moved into a multi-station format this morning to much needed removal of a long line for coffee and donuts. So they'll be spread out throughout the lobby, the Commons, the Hearth Room, so you can find refreshments everywhere this morning. And you can find information about our church and ways to get involved and upcoming events in the calendar in your order of service. Next Sunday, you can join us to celebrate Connie Schulke's retirement. Connie retired from her administration position after more than 30 years of service to our church. We will celebrate next Sunday with a reception right after the service. All are welcome as we express our gratitude for Connie's deep dedication and holding this place so well over these many years. So join us next Sunday for that. Our justice partner for this month is Boundless, which you can read about in your order of service, a fully accessible playground here in Rochester. And the executive director will be joining next Sunday to give a little more information about their work in the community. But you can give as a Plates Pass or anytime online. Thank you for your generosity to that work. And all this week, our church will be filled with, I don't know how many exactly, but it'll feel like thousands of children for Chalice Camp in this space. Having fun, learning about values of justice and love, and creating community together. So we're looking forward to that busy time this week, and next week's service will reflect our time together. So I invite you to take a breath and enter our time of worship with these words from our minister in the 1870s, the Reverend Eliza Tupper Wilkes. May our faith in humanity and our message of hope and good cheer light our way. It's good to be together. In just a moment, our opening hymn, Morning is Broken, number 38 in the Great Hymnal, or lyrics up on the screen, will call us back. But before we sing, I invite you to rise in body or spirit and greet those around you.
has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them singing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise for the nation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
While we were away, we visited the homes of the women that helped inspire our names. Louisa May Alcott, a Unitarian,
and Clara Barton, Universalist. Here are some of the words to light our chalice today.
From Louisa May Alcott. Women have minds and souls as well as hearts, ambition and talents as well as beauty and accomplishments. We want to live and learn as well as love and be loved. I'm sick of being told that love is all a woman is fit for.
From Clara Barton. I may sometimes be willing to teach for nothing, but if I am paid at all, I shall never do a man's work for less than a man's pay.
We light our chalice for love and justice.
For love and justice, indeed. Throughout the year, we are glad to welcome new members into the life of our church. And those who are joining this morning, I invite you to come forward and join us up here on the chancel. Come on up. When we welcome new members, it is a seemingly simple act of putting pen to paper, signing a name, and saying welcome, and yet and still something more powerful happens than it seems. It's a commitment of hearts to hearts, of joining into a community and reconsecrating ourselves to who we are and what values we are called to. Naming and honoring new souls among us in the larger family of all souls. May you, as you join today, know that this home is a large family, a home for your soul. Know that these are your people. And together in forgiveness and grace, in strength and resilience, we make here a home for all souls.
Good morning. It is a great joy for me to engage with newcomers who are interested in learning about First UU. I get the pleasure of hearing their stories of their spiritual journey and sometimes concerns about a religious home. It is something to be celebrated when they decide that this is their place. We are their people. This is an exciting time of people finding this progressive, liberal community, and we are glad that you have found your way here. We welcome you wholeheartedly into our congregation and into the wider world of Unitarian Universalism. So I'll have you give a wave as I share your name. This morning joining is Matthew Kerr, Stephen Dubois, Mason Robinson, and Kathleen Yost.
Sorry, still getting used to this chancel thing again. So I invite the congregation to find the Litany of Welcome, which is in your order of service. And the congregation says, "We welcome you into this congregation and into the larger circle of Unitarian Universalism. We welcome your story, your identity, and the gifts that you bring. May you find here a home for your soul." And new members.
We gladly join with you as the members of this church. We will offer our gifts as we are able to the flourishing and well-being of this community and support the values of this congregation: hospitality, compassion, charity, and justice.
And all together. We covenant to travel together in this religious community. Here may we be affirmed for who we are and challenged to be our best selves. Here may we grow our souls, care for each other and the earth, nurture spiritual growth, practice justice, and together lead lives of meaning, service, and love. And as the congregation sings a blessing to you, I invite you to sign our membership book holding the names of over 150 years of those who have come before you. And I invite you to be mindful of all the blank spaces after your name as well, that you are now part of a legacy to welcome others into this community that are yet to come. We'll sing hymn number 1. The lyrics are up there on the screen as we sing this blessing to you as you sign. Gratitude and in gladness, we bid you welcome. And also in gratitude and gladness, we will receive today's offering.
I'd like to invite the children forward for a story today. Grab a spot. You have your hat. What's going on?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I'm back.
Yeah.
So I think most of you might remember me. I'm Luke. I work here still. But I've been gone for a few months, and some other ministers have been here. Reverend Ruth has been here, and others. And so I've missed being with you, and I'm really excited to see you. And I'm excited for Chalice Camp this week. Some of you might be doing that. And I'm excited for all the coming weeks and getting ready for the fall. And so I came back at a time where we in the church are planning.
So we're doing this now.
So many things. Yeah, we're going to plan it now.
Okay. All right,
So we're going to plan the entire year together now. And do you know who does the best calendars? Amy. Amy has so many calendars above her desk, and for Chalice Camp, and now for all the money and all the things for the coming year. And so we've prepared some really important calendars.
I have a brand new one here.
Oh, great.
And it's all set.
So it's all ready behind here. Are you ready to see the calendar we've started? So first okay. And then, nope. Is this the one?
Maybe it was the thinner one.
So this is not the calendar. This is an empty poster board.
Okay.
Let's try one of these.
Here we go.
So, okay, the thinner one. Are you ready? Here's the calendar for the new church year.
Okay, here's one more.
All right.
I must have just grabbed the wrong one.
Okay. Do you think this one's going to be right? You don't trust us. All right. Here is the new calendar for the new church year.
I swear I worked while you were gone.
So, I believe it.
Okay.
So, maybe we haven't planned everything yet. Do you think that's true? Do you know what calendars are?
Yes.
Okay, good. I know they might, it's this old paper thing you hang on your fridge and you guide all your days. So most of our calendars at church are actually so full of stuff. All this and this and this. And maybe your own calendar at school or home or other places feels so full. But what if the calendar was like that? What if it was empty? Blank page after blank page of just open days that weren't all filled with all the stuff that we have to do all the time.
I'm so bored.
So Amy will keep real calendars in the office. And then sometimes we imagine a different way, like in this book. And I'll get it out of your way.
And how would we fill our days if we didn't have a bunch of stuff on our calendars? So Tisha and the Blossoms by Wendy Medor and Daniel Agnias are going to help us figure out how we could fill those days when we don't have a ton of stuff on our calendars. Are we ready? Tisha was catching a blossom in her backyard. Hurry up! You're going to be late for school. Who's heard that? Hurry up, hurry up. On the way, Tisha stops to listen to the sounds. Hurry up, shouted the bus driver. I'm running late. But what does Tisha want to do? Listen to the sounds.
Hey!
In the classroom, Tisha found a book about space. Hurry up, said the teacher. We're going to be late for the assembly.
Hey, look, maybe she can see some time for ice cream.
At recess, Tish found a ladybug, and she was counting the spots. 1, 2, 3. But what does her friend say? Hurry up, we're going to be Late. I just want to count the bugs on the spots. After lunch, Tisha drew a space shuttle. It had 3 windows, 2 wheels, 1 bright red. Hurry up, said the teacher. It's time to put the crayons away.
Why can't
After school was over, Mommy kissed Tisha and took her backpack. Let's hurry so we don't miss the bus. No, thank you, sniffed Tisha.
Hey!
What's the matter, said Mommy.
Yeah.
I have done too much hurrying up lately. Can we please have a little slowdown? Mommy smiled. If your legs aren't too tired, would you like to walk home? It's only a few blocks away. Yes, please, said Tisha.
It's only, I think,
When I was a girl, said Mommy, I used to love playing how many? Like, how many yellow cars can you spot? There's one over there, said Tisha. On the walk home, they saw 5 seagulls, 4 children, 3 blue umbrellas, 2 sausage dogs, and 1 enormous hat. Then they sat on a bench in the sunshine and gave names to all the pigeons in the park. You 2 must be hungry, Daddy said. You better hurry up and get dinner. Oh, why don't we have a picnic instead, said Mom. Oh yes, I love picnics, Tisha said. We can crunch the cucumbers, chew the cheese, and feel the pickles tingle on our tongues, said Mommy. Daddy could crunch the loudest, Mommy could chew for the longest, and Tisha's tongue was the one that tingled the most. Then a soft wind blew, and the blossoms began to fall. Let's catch this one, Tisha said. But what happened? Did more than one fall? I think my favorite days, sighed Tisha, are full of blossoms and a bit of slowing down. So we are going to sing the children's benediction. It's be on the screen or in the back inside covered hymnal. And we're going to, should we hurry up and get downstairs? Or should we take our time? Let's take our time. We'll line up right over there.
May peace surround you. May love surround you as you go, as you go on your way.
Good morning. It is good to be with you. I invite you to settle in here as we create a place of communal caring and connection. It's our time to pause amidst the busyness of our lives, to slow down enough to consider the beauty that is here all around us, and to open a space for listening and love. Here, we honor all who support us in this caring, loving, and all-inclusive ministry. We send gratitude to Robin Taylor and Sarah Rothwell, serving as our caring coordinators, arranging care for our members and friends in need. Vicki Wolf will take over tomorrow for the next 2, and we thank her for that. The members of our caring committee are wonderful examples of our compassionate community, holding us up as we go through change and return from sabbatical. We welcome you back, and and we celebrate the nurturing that he does here. In this community, we share pieces of our lives with one another. We do this because all people here have value. Each person's experience matters. We lift up those who are experiencing sadness, illness, or loneliness. May the strength and love in our congregation help guide you. And we revel in those who are experiencing joys in their lives. May their happiness lift us all, and may their joy filter into all around them. We celebrate this morning with Jane Foote the birth of her grandson, Graham Lindquist, born on July 10th to son Brian and daughter-in-law Natalie Lindquist. Graham is healthy and calm, and the family is doing well, and we welcome this new life to the world. Margot and Mike Stick are so appreciative of the concern expressed and support shown in the aftermath of her shoulder replacement surgery 3.5 weeks ago. Though full recovery will continue for weeks, surgery was successful, and meanwhile, they continue to be grateful for the entire community here at First UU. And he's hiding. Austin Ferguson, Mayo Clinic's Carol-Honor recently passed the Guild of Carol-Honors exam, the highest level of professional performance certification in North America. This milestone marks only the second time, the first occurring in 1961, a Mayo Clinic Carol-Honor has achieved this level of certification. The achievement makes Ferguson, Austin, one of only 165 Carol-Honors in the entire country to hold this distinction. We are honored to have him here and congratulate him on this prestigious honor. He's there. He's just embarrassed because he didn't know I was going to share that. So sorry. Yep. So cards of support and well wishes are welcome for all. The cards of support list that is compiled weekly contains all these members and friends who are going through challenging and happy times, and is posted in the entryway of the church, as well as a link in your e-news. We provide cards and postage and welcome you to leave the cards near the basket down in the hallway. Here, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith is our focus. Let us carry that out into the wider world. May the faith in the spirit of life, love for the community of earth, and love for the light in each other be ours now and in all the days to come.
I invite you to take a breath. Breathe deep the breath of life. Feel below you the earth and its ancient turning. Above you the sky, and beyond that the stars shining with their ancient light, holding you in this moment, this breath, you yourself made of earth and stars. Know that in this house you are named and known as beloved, as sacred. I invite you into this time of meditation, this time of prayer, first by sharing silence together. Spirit of life, source of love, God and Gaia of many names and beyond all naming. We are too often reminded that our world and country is filled with violence. These days of intensity, may we lean toward the places and the people that move in the ways of peace, in our discourse and our actions and in our shared future, so that we might study war no more. May we find in this moment and breath and each day enough space to be held by the beauty of the world. Let the soul be held in love by one another, so that we may find nourishment and strength enough to offer our gifts to a more just and loving world. This day we hold in our hearts all those who suffer in mind, in body, or spirit. I invite you to bring the names you're holding in your own heart this day in joy or sorrow, and silently or aloud now in this time to speak their names. those names spoken and unspoken. May we all be held in love and grace. These words of meditation are from Ursula Guin. Love doesn't just sit there like a stone. It has to be made like bread, remade all the time, made new. May it be so. Amen. The hymn is Immortal Love. I invite you to remain seated as we sing together.
Advice to Myself by Louise Erdrich. Leave the dishes. Let the celery rot in the bottom drawer of the refrigerator and an earthen scum harden on the kitchen floor. Leave the black crumbs in the bottom of the toaster. Throw the cracked bowl out and don't patch the cup. Don't patch anything. Don't mend. Use safety pins. Don't even sew on a button. Let the wind have its way, then the earth that invades as dust, and then the dead foaming up in gray rolls underneath the couch. Talk to them. Tell them they are welcome. Don't keep all the pieces of the puzzles or the doll's tiny shoes in pairs. Don't worry who uses whose toothbrush or if anything matches at all. Except one word to another or a thought. Pursue the authentic. Decide first what is authentic, then go after it with all your heart. Your heart, that place you don't even think of cleaning out, that closet stuffed with savage mementos. Don't sort the paper clips from screws, from saved baby teeth, or worry if we're all eating cereal for dinner again. Don't answer the phone, ever, or weep over anything at all that breaks. Pink molds will grow within those sealed containers in the refrigerator. Accept new forms of life, and talk to the dead who drift in through the screened windows, who collect patiently on the top of food jars and books. Recycle the mail. Don't read it. Don't read anything except what destroys the insulation between yourself and your experience, or what pulls down, or what strikes at, or what shatters this ruse we call necessity.
I love the pieces of poetry where the reaction audibly is discomfort. And then there's a few hidden folks around the room going, yes, this is what I believe. So I have a story for you. It started with a weather report, as it often does. Potential of severe storms and wind and downed lines. It followed weeks of rain, of course, sound familiar, though this was years ago. So the ground was soaked and was weeping of a changing and weary earth, and the basement water mitigation system was working full throttle, moving water out and away as the pipes kept filling up, and then in a moment the power went out. Not a huge deal normally, but sometimes when the water is filling up so quickly and the pump keeping the floor dry needs power, you realize you need to act quick, or should have got the battery back up, but you hadn't yet, and so you're not sure how the water is going to get out of the house. So you grab some towels and you have your bucket ready to start bailing water into the other drain, and you gather in a little prayer vigil around the basement drain basin, waiting for it to rise and overflow, and you're ready at that one spot. And this is the moment when you realize that you don't understand this mitigation system as well as you thought you did. Because while you are ready and focused right in front of you, thought you had prepared as much as you could in the moment, you then notice apparently that the system fills up and the pumps turn off, and it doesn't just fill up that basin in that spot. Many of you are going, duh, Luke. It starts seeping in from every perimeter of the wall on the floor. And by that point, it is too late. What you have prepared for is not going to work, and that's not what's happening. So not much else to do. But a little pushing of water around with a squeegee here and there, frantically and ineffectually, but you know it's going to take time to clean it up later after the power returns, and maybe you'll make better plans next time. It's a hard thing in the midst of what seems like a disaster, when at one moment you can't do a whole lot but take a pause and reassess to do what you can in the moment, and then just take a breath and learn to let go. I'm not good at that. I get stuck in the mantra, I've just got to do this. I've just got to attend to this, just a little more work, just one more email, or just a few more minutes on this, or just a little more of this or that. I've got to mop up this corner, or I've got to pick up this thing, or I have to save democracy or the planet, and then things will be in order, shipshape, everything cleaned up, accounted for. Then, at that point, then I will have time for beauty and joy and play. But sometimes the messes just sneak up on you from every direction that you didn't expect, and you can't work your way out of it quick enough, and you have to let go of what you thought you had to do, let go of what you thought you were going to save, and begin to understand a different way forward, messy and uncertain as it might be. And sometimes you're blessed with someone else's voice to illuminate you to this truth, saying you don't have to fix it now. You can't do it all by yourself. Just for now, take a breath, let it go. And then maybe you're blessed with a chance to be at the table upstairs with others, to crunch the cucumbers like in the book, or to chew the cheese, or feel the tingle of food, to be present enough to catch a blossom from the sky. Leave the dishes, writes the poet. Don't mend, get a safety pin. Don't worry if anything matches. Let the wind have its way. Don't read anything other than what pulls down or what strikes or what shatters this ruse you call necessity. This ruse you call necessity. It's hard to take that advice with so much happening, so much at stake in our world or our daily lives. It can feel like disaster is around at every perimeter all the time, from this side or that, and we try to hurry up, like in the book, to get to this, to do that, allowing such little space for our soul to catch up to our bodies. That's the tricky thing. The soul, this inner core of who we are, needs nourishment. Like the old Union labor song says, hearts can starve as well as bodies, so give us bread and give us roses. We need the nourishment of beauty, of art, of nature, to keep space open on the calendar of the heart that isn't jam-packed with anxious working and doing, thinking that's how we save the world. We need moments of respite and renewal, and less hurrying up, to recreate or recreate this old idea that justice and love and hope only can come to be created, if our own souls are cared for enough to not let the threats of all the things take away our birthright of joy and love and celebration of what it means to be human and alive. And sometimes we think it's up to us to create this, but we know it has to be created communally. And how often do we fail at it communally? to care for one another in our workplace policies, in our communal well-being and resources, all of it. The poet writes, pursue the authentic. Decide what is authentic, then go after it with all your heart. To take respite and care is not laziness or selfishness. It's essential well-being. She says, your heart, that place you don't even think of cleaning out, the closet stuffed with savage mementos. When we think we've got things figured out about what is important, think we have a plan mapped out, then things just start seeping in from somewhere we didn't expect. The soul already filled and saturated often with torrents of grief, of years of this or that. When you think you've got it under control, it seeps in over here, this obligation or task, or this strained relationship, or this major life change, or when democracy feels like it is just crumbling right through your hands, and you're trying to hold up this precarious ballot to turn it in for some future you're still hoping can be true. You can feel like you've got all the edges that you need to cover, every inch around the perimeter, and you've got to get it all cleaned up, buttoned up, repaired as fast as possible, working constantly, working yourself weary to get everything in neat, working order. Have you ever felt like that? I'm preaching to myself, as always. As Ann and I shared a bit this week about this poem, we're like, we are horrible at taking this advice. Horrible. I love it because it makes me uncomfortable and it pushes me. But we also know in these days, when all feels precarious, days we've experienced before, each in many different ways, is that there are generations of wisdom to draw on, and new ways of being and living are possible. From folks who seemingly had no reason to hope, who still chose how to live into their freedom of joy and liberation in the most horrific circumstances, to create some of the most beautiful art and expressions of beauty in the history of the world, in music, and paint, and song, and story, even in the midst of disaster on all sides. Accept new forms of life, writes the poet. Talk to the dead who drift in through the screened windows, who collect patiently on the tops of food jars and books. Accept new forms of life. The physical dust of letting things just settle a bit, or the ashes of ancestors whose presence still echo in the very song we'll sing in just a moment. So I want you to take a breath right now and imagine a calendar like that. Imagine enough space in your life, in your day, in your year, to move aside the ruse of necessity, of obligation. So there's space both for well-being and care, and in that space, maybe some clarity about how to use your time, your resources, your love, your gifts, your skills in the ways you feel called, the ways you feel drawn into, that both nourish and give at the same time, a cycle. So take a breath. What burdens can you set down? What ruse of what you thought was necessity might be replaced with something that nourishes the soul, so you are well cared for, to find the strength you need for the things that are actually important. Art and beauty, community, justice, love, in the next day, the coming weeks, the coming months. Caring and tending well to what matters most to you, no more and no less. Tending your little corner of the world, finding where your voice and gifts can create just a little more love and justice here, now, making sure, yes, you give all your heart to the things that matter, and together recreating each day the possibility that love and beauty will still show up in the sky and fall toward you if you notice it. We're going to sing a song of the African American spiritual tradition The tune itself is named for Sojourner Truth, abolitionist, leader, an imaginer of a different world and way forward. The song itself is an embodiment, a poignant reminder in lyric and melody to praise the world and this life, even and especially in the midst of struggle and disaster. To give us the courage to keep showing up in the face of hardship and uncertainty and messy democracy and more, with art, with beauty, with community, and with song. I invite you to rise and body your spirit as we sing.
Glory, glory, hallelujah, since I laid my burden down. Glory, glory, hallelujah, since I laid my burden down. Feel like shouting, hallelujah, since I laid my burden down. Feel like shouting, hallelujah, since I laid my burden down. Feel like singing so much sweeter since I laid my burden down. Feel the sweeter, so much sweeter since I laid my burden down. Feel like shining all around me since I laid my burden down. Feel like shining all around me since I laid my burden down.
I invite you to take a breath. And as you're comfortable, place a hand on your heart or toward the earth or the sky in gratitude and connection. Go yonder, and gather the people. Give them not hell, but courage and hope. Give them something of the love you have found here. And tell all the people that love is our home. Amen.
Blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and